whoever put this guy up to this, fuck you. Fuck
no
you.
way.
Not funny. Sat back down. Tap, tap, tap again. This time he's holding like the really high quality, red lettered, embossed business card. And sure enough, it says Phil fucking Orleans, executive producer, snowboarding, X Games.
Wow.
Hands it to me.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Oh, mate.
We imitate each other. Selema Masekela is here.
I am.
Selema Masekela.
You're not Sal.
Guilty. I'm not. I haven't been for... I resigned it summer of 2020. I was like, that's fucking it. I'm done.
But
I'm going back to my
I've been calling
government.
you that when I see you.
Does he
You've
get a
been
pass?
calling me... No, you've been calling me Selema. Sometimes
Have
you
I?
slip. Yeah.
I didn't
Sometimes
even
you
know
slip.
I was.
But you have been.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So,
I had to explain that before you got here, by the way.
no worries.
It's all right.
Yeah.
People known me as Sal for most of my life.
Maybe I say Masekela.
You do say Masekela a
That's
lot.
probably what it is.
But I think that the thing is I always wanted to go back to Sal. I mean, to Selema.
I was going to say.
Yeah. I'm jet lagged.
Even he's confused.
I'm jet lagged. I always wanted to go back to Selema. When I moved to California, the first day I went to Carlsbad High and I
say no more.
introduced myself and they're like, what's your name? And I was like, Selema. And they're like, so what, dude? Like, Selema. And literally, I shit you not, by that afternoon, someone came running up after lunch and were like, dude, we got it. You're Sal. You're fucking
really?
Sal, dude. Yeah, and I was like, I am? And then it just like through the whole school. And you're walking down the hallway and people are like, yeah, Sal. What's up, Sal? Right on, Sal? Yeah, Sal. And I was like, all right, I guess.
Oh,
I guess
wow.
that's what
I
we're
was
doing.
hoping that was more self-appointed.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that
it was
sucks.
so not
All
self-appointed.
right. It's Selema then.
I remember when I met Sal Barbier for the first time, and he was like, oh, so you're that guy that people like confused in Carlsbad. He'd been in Carlsbad for like a little bit.
Jeez.
And he was like, and they were like, he found out there was another Black Sal, and he thought that I was like imitating him.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
I was like, nah, dude.
Wait, is Sal Barbier's? Is that short for something?
No, I think Sal's just, I think he's just Sal.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tie the shoes of Sal Barbier, so I was like, no, on no planet ever did I ever think that I could remotely steal any of your shine. But when you're like literally one of, at that time, I think there was like 3 to maybe 4.5 Black dudes in all of Carlsbad, of course that was going to happen.
Wow.
You know Romy? Remember Romy with the dreadlocks?
Yeah.
So it was Sal Barbier, Romy, myself, and like one other guy for
So what was that like?
years. Strange. In Carlsbad, it was strange,
Weird
especially when I
vibe.
started surfing.
But was it a weird...
It was a very weird vibe. So just take everything you know about skateboarding and just throw it out the door. Imagine like showing up to the beach and guys being like, what are you doing here? You guys don't even swim. Like
That's
laughing
so
and heckling
wild.
that a Black kid was on the beach holding a surfboard, like took people's brains
And that's happening in
mashed them.
Carlsbad.
In Carlsbad,
Fuck
all
yeah.
the time. Yeah, it was
surprise me.
all the time. It was like, if it wasn't for Taylor Knox, because we graduated the same year and he was one of the people who like had my back, it would have been worse. I remember, to give you a funny example, there was this girl that I liked in my I think it was my English class, and I asked her friend about her one day in the halls. I was like, "Hey, what's up with Stephanie?" And she was like, "What? You think she's cute?" And I was like, "Yeah, she's super cute." Like, I don't know. I don't know if she's into black guys, but let me find out, and I'll get back to you. And then she like skipped off.
Like that was just normal banter.
like it was normal
Oh
shit.
my God.
So yeah, it was super, super interesting. I got let go from Hobie. I worked at Hobie before it was Surf Ride. And I was like a shop rat there.
Yeah.
And I finally got a job.
Oh, in Oceanside.
In Oceanside.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is now Surf Ride.
Right.
And I finally had gotten a job there. I was stoked. I quit I was a teller at Bank of America and I quit to go and work at the shop. My parents thought I was crazy, but it was like, Mom, that you don't understand. Like, I'm good.
This is the place.
I'm tuning snowboards, setting up skateboards, and I'm selling stuff downstairs on the surf floor. And after like 2 months, I'm killing it. One day I come in and my friend Aaron, who I had gone to Carlsbad with, was like, hey, it's kind of slow and you were the last one hired, so we gotta let you go. But, we'll get you back on the schedule soon. And I was like, just dumb deer in hell. Okay, cool. Kept coming back around. A few weeks later, you're like, hey,
new guy.
Who's that girl? And then you start to figure out like, oh, I guess I'm not coming back. Got my job back at the bank. And then I get a call at the bank. And I was never allowed to take calls when you're on the teller line. Like your job is to make transactions. My manager comes storming over and she's like, there's someone on the phone and they won't get off. And I told them you were on the line and they don't care. And so go run to the break room and take the call and get back out here. So I go back there and I pick up the phone. And now I'm thinking there's like, I got a family emergency or something. And it's Aaron. And he's like, hey, so I just, I had to call you because I had this thing that's been bothering my conscience for a long time. And I can't really live with it anymore. And I'm leaving the store because I'm going to go be a fireman. But we didn't let you go because it was slow. We had to let you go because the owner said your being black didn't fit the definition and the image of a surf shop. So we had to let you go.
Man. I got kicked off XYZ for being allegedly gay on speakerphone, and they all laughed when they fired me.
No way.
Yeah.
Persecution.
Yeah. That's
wild.
Crazy. From XYZ.
Yeah.
Did
At the time, I wanted to be on there, so
right. I remember it. You would wear all the shit.
Yeah.
But in your case, were you thankful that dude told you because you kind of knew that already?
No, you didn't know.
Or you expected?
I didn't
that?
know. I was like dumb as rocks, naive. You're your kid. You're trying to fit in. But it made sense.
I thought you said when you saw the girl get hired that somehow you kind of knew.
I knew
maybe
something was going on, but the last thing I thought that it had anything to, even though this shit was happening all the time, you're like, not this, not like that.
Right.
And it fucked me up. Like it really, 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 really fucked me up. Like that one fucked me up, and that's when I started to get pissed. And my mom, I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to sue, like, fuck this. And she said, well, you could sue, but let's just look at this for a second. Like, we're new to this town. And whose side do you think they're going to take? Because the two owners, they were super, like, prolific in the Calvary Church, etc. This town's got history there. It's generational. Like, who... And I was like, but they did what? She's like, so? And it was my mom who was just really like held the mirror up to my face. She said, there's two things you can do. Yes, you could sue, we'll support you, etc. Or you can just make sure that no one fucking takes this thing that you love away from you. And know that also like this is something that you're going to continue to deal with. And so it lit a real fire under my ass, that one. That was the one. Like after that, there's like no more jokes, any talking shit, whatever. And also like my father, besides being a musician, was a race activist. Like he was politically exiled from South Africa for 30 years, couldn't go home because he was fighting against apartheid. And so now you got this shit happening to you, and you realize you're understanding your legacy and where you come from, and you're like, okay. No more trying to like fit in and hope that you get to make friends at the expense of getting to be your whole self.
Yep.
What a great role model though to have your dad.
Oh, he was the shit, man. He was so the shit because he fought, but he also like he just fucking showered people with such an immense amount of love. And told the story of where he was from and why it was fucked up and why you couldn't support what was going on in South Africa. And then he'd hit people with this music that made him feel so good that they'd be like, yeah, fuck that, But he could have, for someone who literally physically couldn't go home for 30 years because of risking death or being jailed, he had a wonderful approach to like just loving the shit out of everyone to the point where they'd be exhausted at being hateful. And I think
it's the smartest way to go about it.
It is. And it's what I think that was
Because it
definitely
comes from anger. The negativity comes from anger, and to fight back with anger gets you the same spot.
No way. And so he just was like, and trust me, when he needed to fucking go off, he did.
Right.
But there was a limited number of arrows in that quiver, and he only used them when it was strictly for like, all right, I got to take you out.
Right.
But he wasn't out there trying. He knew he'd be exhausted trying to fucking to do that. I think that was what my approach to like the industry was definitely that way. I think I'm subconsciously was making an effort. I just the joy of this life and this culture was so fascinating.
Did you start surfing in Carlsbad when you moved there? Yeah.
Yeah, I started surfing in Carlsbad. I started skating back east a year and a half before. I was in a school. I grew up in New York, and then I was in Massachusetts for like 2.5 years, which was a super culture shock. My mom and stepdad decided to move there because my stepdad was working between Boston and New York. And the only kids that were cool in my high school in Massachusetts, in Attleboro, were these who were the coolest to me in the midst of all the like jocks and the cliques were these 4 fucking skateboarders. One kid named Scott Forbes, who I'm still friends with to this day. They had all the fucking
sick.
They had all the pins down the side of the jeans and black flag and just like just the way they dressed was so cool. And they stood out. They couldn't have stood out more. Like my town was like work boots and flannels, and they were just like, bah.
And they probably got shit for it.
They did. They got
shit. I mean, it wasn't like they stood out with it. Like,
no,
cool
they got
guys.
abused every day.
They were skaters.
But I was just curious about them. Like they were the closest thing to like culture, like the kids who were different, which I had grown up with in New York. So I gravitated towards them. And this kid, Scott Forbes, gave me a skateboard. And they had Thrasher magazines. I knew nothing about the culture. I just imitated what they did. And he gave me a skateboard.
Wow.
And that really changed everything. Like that helped me get through Massachusetts. I still didn't know anything about skateboarding or culture. But when I was moving to Carlsbad, when I came home from school one day, and my parents said that in April, so school ends in like end of May.
Right.
First week of April, I come home, and my mom and my stepdad sits me down and says, we're moving to Carlsbad, California in 2 weeks. I was like, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
Like, I just figured this shit out. I had a girlfriend, you're in all that 16-year-old shit. Drove cross country in a U-Haul. Pulled into California at night, didn't know where we were, woke up in the morning to go unload the U-Haul and walk outside, and we're up on the top of a hill above Tamarack in a cul-de-sac and pan right. I'll never forget it. Slowly pan right, palm trees, what is this? And like, oh, there's an ocean out there. I'm pissed, but like, all right, what's happening here? Kid comes riding by on his way to school as we're unloading the U-Haul. Remember those Honda, the Revo scooters?
Yeah.
He had a purple Honda Revo scooter, full waterfall, sandals, shorts, and a tank top on, and Oakley blades. And he came rolling by, slowly looks at me and like, and throws a shotgun. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
He can't be going to school.
I thought it was going to go a different direction, but that's
freedom.
sick.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'm pissed, but now I'm still a little bit more curious.
Looks fun, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, all right, we're going to see where we're at. And anyway.
I thought the same thing about California. Looked fun as hell, man. Everybody, I'm like, I don't think any of you know how good you got it.
Yeah.
That's what was my thing.
Yeah.
That was my thing when I got there. I was like, oh, you guys don't even know what you have.
Yeah.
And I just...
The weather.
I leaped into it. I really leaped into it. There was a kid... I went to lunch with these kids that they're like, you want to come to lunch with us? I'm like, we can leave? We can leave school?
Oh, yeah.
To go to lunch? Like, yeah, hop in. Like, if you left school on the East Coast without permission, you'd be suspended.
Done,
like,
yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And we went to a place called Carl's Jr. that I didn't know existed. I was in the back. I was literally in the back of his Subaru hatchback, like crawled in, new guy. They pull in the Tamarack parking lot. And they're eating and they're talking and speaking this weird language. And I see someone stand up and they're like talking about surfing. And I was like, hey, I've seen that before. And they're like, where? No way. I was like, yeah, I had been on tour with my dad the year before in Australia on the Paul Simon Graceland tour. And there was a guy who would come, when we were in Sydney, he would come each day, he part of the local Australian crew. he'd surf before work, and he'd stage his surfboard underneath the stage rigging. And I, what is that? He told me, and I'd be like, you gotta take me to see it. And he's like, man, I can't take you, but I'll tell you where to go. And he threw me on. I got on the ferry to Bondi one afternoon, went, sat down, bought a sandwich, and I watched these two kids walk out of the beach. He told me what time to go. And I see these two kids paddle out, and then they stood up, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like breakdancing, but they're breakdancing on water. And that's what I thought. I just thought, holy shit, you can breakdance on water. And I just thought it was the craziest thing ever. And I said, I don't know when or where or how, but if I ever get a chance to do that.
How old were you then?
I'm going to do that. I was 15. It was a year before. And then, you fast forward a year later, you end up in this town, you're pissed, and then now you're sitting in the back of a fucking Subaru, scratched up, eating Carl's Jr. for the first time. You're like, hey, that's that thing.
That's
and then
amazing.
you tell these kids that you saw it in Bondi, and they're like, you weren't in fucking Bondi, dude.
Yeah.
That's impossible. I'm like, sure I was. And then you tell them you were there with your dad and Paul Simon. They think this kid's
In case
crazy.
there doesn't know, Hugh Masekela.
Yeah.
Father.
I am a guy that actually has been going through a little bit lately, and I was not seeing a therapist for a while because I thought that I was doing pretty good, and it turned out that I was not doing that well and that I needed to go back, and it's very convenient to use BetterHelp, and I wasn't sure. I thought maybe that, the only therapist for me was the one that I used to use. Turns out, no, that's not true. The person that I met helped myself and my wife, and I highly recommend checking it out. And why not get yourself a discount code on helping yourself and notifying them that you listen to this show. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/hawkwolf. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hawkwolf. Help yourselves, brothers and sisters, and thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring the show. Jason Ellis for Hawk vs. Wolf talking about Factor. Meals, man. Meal prep. People are busy these days doing a lot of stuff. And when you're in a hurry, sometimes you eat stuff that you normally would not want to eat. Factor takes care of all that. These guys have meals delivered to your door. There's no processed jank. It's a really good... They send it to my house. They're really good meals. They're really tasty. They're healthy. You have all different kinds of options. There's like... over 30 different options. There's smoothies, juices, all kinds of snacks. You can get you through the whole day, the whole week, sorry. And Factor is flexible. You can change your order if you don't like stuff. Vegan, keto, whatever it is, you can get it with these guys. And you can also get a fat discount, everybody, by going to go.factor75.com/wolf130. So use the code WOLF130 and get $130 off across 6 boxes. That's the code, everybody, is WOLF130 at go.factor75.com/wolf130 for $130 off.
Yeah, my
amazing
dad,
musician.
Yeah, Hugh Masekela. He was he made it possible for Paul Simon to make the Graceland album in South Africa during apartheid. Like he set him up to get in there and go in and make it with the musicians, even though my dad couldn't do it. He gave him all the connects. And then when Paul got out, when the album was done, he's like, this record wouldn't happen
on tour.
without you. So not only are you coming on tour, but you're going to be a headliner. Like your name's going to be on the marquee.
So he opened for Paul Simon?
No.
Or he was in the...
He was in the band. But
he was in the band, playing at the same time.
Playing, and then Paul would like have my dad come out and just do his songs with the bands.
Wow.
Sick.
That's so amazing.
And the way he was just so generous.
I got a taste of the sort of reverence for your father when we were on the Skatepark Tour. And I remember I want to say it was like DC or something.
Mm-hmm.
We were at some party, some VIP party that we got invited to.
Yeah.
And it was at a music studio.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Right. Holy shit. We were in that club.
So it was a club, and they're like, hey, there's a music studio in the back. And they want you to say something. They want to record your voice.
They were recording a record.
Yeah, they want to record your voice, maybe introing a track or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. And you were with me, and I was like, let's go check it out. And then we walk in, and I did something super small, whatever. And they're like, asking you. And I was like, well, his dad is Hugh Masekela. I was like, what?
I remember that shit.
And they grabbed you and put you in the seat that I was in. And they were like, you're going on this record. You were on this record. Like I didn't exist at that point.
Yeah.
It was like, dude,
that was
Hugh Masekela's son is here.
I remember that, Tony. And we were in a nightclub at this thing, and then we just get pulled into the secret room, and now like dudes are, every joint on earth is being passed around, and we're in the middle of like a recording studio session, and they're like, here, just talk over the beat.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
It was sick.
What band?
I don't remember. It was a hip hop artist, but it was in DC. I was thinking about that like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those minutes.
To me, like I knew of your dad. I knew who your dad was, but I had never seen the reaction that it gets when people were like, what?
And that was a weird thing growing up in Carlsbad because nobody knew who your dad was.
Right.
An adult would hear like your last
easy
name,
listening,
and they'd be like, wait, like Hugh Masekela, like every once in a while. But like my whole way into like even when I started at Transworld, when I was answering the phones, I remember Grant Britton comes walking up to the front after a few days, and he, Grant's super chill, and he's like, Masekela, like Hugh Masekela, right? And I said, yeah. I said, that's my dad. And he goes, yeah. And then he just walks back, and then that's how I got like to be cool with Grant. But he was like one of the one person in the building who was like, holy shit, Hugh Masekela's son is answering the phones. Is the receptionist at Transworld.
What was the spark for doing hosting commentary stuff?
Transworld.
How?
Like, so when I got that job, it was like, all right, I'm in. It's like it felt like you broke into the prison, and you're like, okay, I can't get out. What next? And so
infiltrate.
I would go to like skate photography, snowboard photography, whoever, editorial, like, what do you guys need done? Stuff envelopes, but whatever. Just showed people that I was down. I remember like the day that Dave Swift invited me to lunch. I was like, fuck yes, okay. Like those guys are like, you coming to lunch with us? I was like, yeah, okay. Like grabbing my shit, And it was such a unique time because there was only like 30 people, maybe 25 people who worked there when I started working there. I remember you coming in once and just being like, fuck, you calling for Grant one time and being like, yeah, just 1 second. Be like, holy shit, that's fucking Tony Hawk. And I remember
thinking, that guy's got a smooth voice.
Transworld Publications. This is Selema Masekela. How may I help you? They were doing Board Aid.
Yep.
And remember Louise Balma?
Yes. I have a good story. Just go
okay.
on. Yes.
So Louise Balma, who ran like all the events for Transworld, she was loud and energetic, and I could hear her like prancing up and down. Her and what was I can't think of Fran Richards.
Yep.
They're producing this event, and she's near the front. She's like, "We don't have a host. Who's gonna be the MC?" Like and then they're throwing around names, and then I finally just like, I could do it. Her and Fran turn around and like, really? I was like, yeah, I could absolutely do it. Bullshit, but yes, I could do it. And she remembered that like I was entertaining at the Christmas party or something. I think I sang karaoke or something and got everybody like hyped up to and actually like enjoy the Christmas party.
And you can sing.
And I could sing.
Yep.
And so she gave me my first shot. So Board Aid was my first deal. And that's what started it. That's what I went out there and I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I just went full Robin Williams.
Snow Summit, right?
At Snow Summit.
Yep.
It was the first time an event like that had ever happened.
Yep.
Porno for Pyros. I remember that first lineup of Porno for Pyros were the headliners, and they had a vert ramp up there.
Yep.
And a snowboarding triple jump, and it was all like to raise awareness around AIDS and HIV, which was for the time. I think it was like 94,
Very
95.
progressive.
Super, super, super progressive. And they did it with Lifebeat, who had also done Live Aid. And they made me the MC. And I just went out there and did like a Robin Williams Good Morning Vietnam, like just riff. Good morning, Snow Summit, blah, 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 and just kind of went off. And I got off the stage and everyone was like, that was amazing. All right, cool. Like, and that was my start.
I remember that. I went to those, of course, and I remember watching you and going, that dude, like really knows how to do this.
Yeah.
Because at the, we had Dave Duncan at skate events.
Right.
Dave Duncan's awesome, but we never had anyone that was bringing it all together like that. And then I watched and I was like, damn. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we got invited not long after that to go to the Flow Rider event.
Yes.
In Norway. And Tom Lochtefeld, creator of the Flow Rider, guy who was inviting all of us. It was Terrier. It was Chris Miller, Bill Bryan.
Yeah, Bill Beaker. Bill Bryan, who I just found on Instagram.
Who else? Couple other big wave surfers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom asked me, do you know who could MC this? And I was like, that dude that did Board Aid.
Yeah.
I was like, Selema Masekela, he's the guy.
And I didn't end up going to the Europe one, to the Scano one, but I did the one in San Diego. And that's because of you. And that was,
I thought you went to the one in Norway.
I didn't go to Norway. For some reason, it didn't work out. I forget what it was.
The wave broke.
The wave broke. That's right.
I was supposed to go on that one.
And
that's
so
right.
we did the one in
I was in
San
Tokyo
Diego.
when I found out the wave broke.
Yeah.
And I was about to hop on a flight to there.
Yeah.
And then it was like, nope.
But that's how it started. It was little things like that. And I never
I'm not saying I gave Selema his break.
It was a lot of people did that for me though. And I remember there was a guy who came up. Remember that show Planet X?
Yeah.
So that was my first TV gig. And that guy was just a hustler, bullshit artist of the highest order, but he got stuff on TV. And I forget.
I think I'm confusing when I saw you do that with Norway.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing you do it and I was like, oh man, that looks like a bummer.
It was tough. But his host didn't show up or something at one of the Board Aids and they needed someone to interview you. And like the guy comes up to me and he's like, you know Tony Hawk? And I was like, yeah, I know him. We had met a few times at that point. And he goes, can you interview him for me? And I was like, sure. Next thing you know, you and I are sitting on the vert ramp at Board Aid, having a convo, broing out. And then afterwards, he's like, you should be the host of my show. Little did I know that I would never make $1. But that was, I give this Don Durbin dude a lot of credit because that show, he'd call me and be like, there's this thing and we would just go and like, we'd never have a pass or anything. Just like set up, it's like, start talking. Bullshit our way backstage, and he would take advantage of the fact that I knew people, and that was my first that was like public access television. But that back then there's not a lot of channels or whatever, so people were like, hey, I saw you're that Planet X dude. Like, sure, I don't know what that means. I don't have a car and I barely have a job, but people saw you doing the thing. And Duncan, I got to give Dave Duncan credit. We'd be at the trade shows in San Diego at the Action Sports Retailer trade show. And he was the master of, he was the master. Dave Duncan was the master, the voice of skating. And so whenever I could get a break, I would just go and like post up, get closer to him, and I'd pay attention to him. Because I wasn't a vert skater. So I just pay attention to him. And that's how I learned tricks, was from Dave. And then one day, he had seen me at something and he goes, I'm going to go to lunch. You think you can do this next demo? And I was like, yeah. And I did it. And it went over pretty good. And then the ASR people were like, all right, we're going to put you on the schedule. And Duncan co-signed me, didn't get salty and would always big up me. And that was how I was able to get like some really good cred. I worked at Transworld and I was working at Planet Earth at the time.
But when you offered yourself up for Board Aid, was that something you were pining to do? Or
No,
it was just like, I'll just do it. I'll do whatever.
That was a moment. Like I said, the whole time I was at Transworld was like opportunity. I knew I wasn't going to be a receptionist for the rest of my life. I was selling like skateboard video magazines on the side for this woman Diane, and I would sell like the Transworld skateboarding t-shirts and hats and stuff to shops. That was like my part-time gig, and I crushed it. But it's also like, all right, I got to figure out how to stay in this thing.
Oh, mate, if you haven't heard already, it's smooth back to summer. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure you're escaped from pubes to bum. That's right. This is the summer to keep your balls cool while you're still looking hot with Manscaped. The leader in below-the-belt grooming is making sure we all have a ball this summer by giving our pants partners everything they need to stay fresh. Dive headfirst into smooth sack summer. Wow, that's tasty. By going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with our code HawkWolf. I shave with these things every day. It's the best shaving stuff. Everything they have, all the different shave, your nose, everything they make is the best one that you can get. Trust me, I fight hair 24/7. So get 20% off, free shipping with the code HawkWolf at manscaped.com. 20% off, everybody, and free shipping. Just use the promo code HawkWolf at manscaped.com. It's smooth sack summer, boys. Get on board and or get left behind. Oh, mate, Jason Ellis here for Hawk vs. Wolf, talking about NordVPN. If you're bored of the US Netflix, why not take a spin in the UK using NordVPN and click on the button and you can just do that. No need to travel to Japan for a favorite anime when NordVPN brings it right to you. How the hell did they do that? That is freaking incredible, and I'm kind of pissed that I haven't already done it. I've done a read for these guys, and I figured out as I was reading it what it does, because I don't know about computers and stuff. But it's like, yeah, and it protects you as well. Like it doesn't, you don't go, all your information doesn't go out there. But I already said that my penis is on the internet, so I don't really care anymore. It's over for me, but it's probably not over for you. Most of you probably don't have your dick on the internet. So NordVPN can help you with that. Not to mention just the cool idea of watching other people's Netflix and stuff across the world. Because I'm bored. I need more Netflix. If I go to another country's Netflix, I'm not going to be bored. So this is worth getting. And if you use my promo code, you can get a subscription for 2 years with a fat ass discount. So if you use, it's nordvpn.com/wolf, risk-free, with Nord's 30-day money back. So if you don't like it, you can get out of it. I'm doing it. I guess I'll use my promo code, but I would just do it regardless. This just sounds like a great idea. nordvpn.com/wolf. Everybody get it. Entertain yourselves. Surprise your wife. Hey, look at this crazy Japanese freaking Netflix show I'm watching. You'll seem like worldly and stuff. So check it out. nordvpn.com/wolf. Thanks for sponsoring our podcast.
And so whenever an opportunity came, if it felt right in my gut, I would just speak up. And that Board Aid thing was a huge, huge one. I ended up doing all of them. Like the next, I think 6 or 7.
Did you go to any of those?
I can't remember. Hit my head a lot.
I think you did.
Sure.
I think you went to a couple of the final ones.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
fast
Take your word for
forward
it.
to, when was the first X Games you did?
First X Games I did was 99.
Damn.
Yeah, I was late. Like the TV thing didn't take off for a while. I was trying, but they were using, you remember back then they were using all like ESPN guys.
Yeah.
Like
And yeah, all those randos too.
super randos.
Yep.
And I would try to get like, trust me, I was hustling and they were just like, sure, whatever. And it was, I got the MTV Sports and Music Fest gig.
Oh yeah.
That was the first like real thing. And they'd said no to me twice and hired some like random chick. And then finally this guy, Rod Asa, through, Carl Harris.
Carl Harris, yep. Carl has some pull back
Carl
then.
Harris.
MTV. Shout out Carl.
Carl Harris fought for me tooth and nail. Not even just at MTV. He got me this other show called Board Wild, which I got out of Planet X and got on the Board Wild, which this guy produced. Another kind of hustler like Don Durbin. But he actually paid me sometimes.
Yeah.
And we got to go places. And Carl was running the Swatch team.
Yep.
And had the Swatch budget. And Carl told this guy, if you don't hire my guy Sal, we're pulling our money, which he couldn't do.
That's a Carl move for sure.
Sounds cool.
He's like,
though.
we're pulling our money from your show.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right. And then that was the thing that led to MTV. And then ESPN saw me on MTV Sports and Music Festival. I'm like, they were asking around, and they heard good things from the people in the industry about me. And they sent this guy, Phil Orleans, to Breckenridge. So fast forward to 1999.
I remember Phil.
Yeah, I had left Planet Earth and went to start Alpha Numeric with Alyosha and Mirko. And I was there with our snowboarding team at Breck. I wasn't an announcer or anything. I was just there, sitting at the bar after the first day of the contest. Vans Triple Crown snowboarding. Back when what's his name would be there, like flipping hot dogs and stuff at every contest. Steve Van Doren. Amazing. Hey, how you doing? You know, just that energy. And this guy comes up and taps me on the shoulder at the bar. We're a couple beers in, as you would be at the end of a contest. It's, it's beginning to build towards the night.
Après
before the fullest send. And he says, excuse me, are you Sal Masekela? I said, yeah. He said, I'm Phil Orleans. I'm the executive producer of snowboarding from the ESPN X Games. I'm looking for you. I stood up in my bar seat and hey, whoever put this guy up to this, fuck you. Fuck
no
you.
way.
Not funny. Sat back down. Tap, tap, tap again. This time he's holding like the really high quality, red lettered, embossed business card. And sure enough, it says Phil fucking Orleans, executive producer, snowboarding X Games.
Wow.
Hands it to me. And I was like, sorry. Wow. Hey, yeah, nice to meet you. He's like, can we talk? Not in here. So he bought a 6-pack and we went in the hotel lobby. And I told him everything that sucked about the X Games for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it goes
including summer.
Yeah. Like I just read him for filth about how horrible it was, what it was doing to the culture, and how, the athletes were getting theirs, but like, what the fuck? You guys are destroying our thing. And he's like, yeah, we know, and that's why I'm here. And he said, we want you I want to see if you'd be interested in coming out and being a sideline reporter for snowboarding at Winter, and that'll be like your audition. And I was like, no, listen, I'll tell you everything that's wrong with this thing, but I'm absolutely not. I don't think it's good.
Why?
I'll finish.
Okay.
Because I'm stupid. Fly home, get back to work that Monday. We're at Alpha Numeric having our morning meeting. I was like, this guy came up to me, giving the report of everything with the team. And like, this guy from X Games, said that they were looking for me to be a sideline reporter at Winter X Games. Like, what'd you say? I was like, no. I told him everything that sucked. And they're like, what you fucking idiot. And Alyosha said, dude, you could go there and make a difference.
Change the game.
And change the game.
Yep.
And there's no, you know what I mean? Like, it's like when we were talking with Andrew.
You didn't think you had that agency.
Yeah, remember like when we were talking with Andrew Schultz before we came on, right? And he's talking about his special and we're telling him all the things he's doing. He's like, yeah, hope so. I was like, that was my mentality, was like, I think I know that I'm doing it different, but not to the point where like I could change something or have an impact. I'm just trying to be here. And, we had this company that was gaining momentum and they kicked the shit out of me. My boys, Omar, Mirko, and Alyosha. And so when Phil called the follow-up call 2 days later to be like, are you still stuck on stupid or are you interested? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And they got me out there for 2 weeks for $1,500. And I thought, $1,500?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That sounds cool.
And that's when everything started. And at the end of that X Games, the guys are coming down from their runs and they're like, so, and they'd never seen that at ESPN
never
before.
seen anyone that they knew either, or that they wanted to talk to.
These guys never seen anyone they knew or wanted to talk to, and the ESPN had never seen them stoked to do an interview.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good, but I was good at like talking shit and I had the energy. I didn't know how to be a broadcaster. And at the end of it, they came up to me and they said, "Do you know anything about skateboarding?" I was like, "Yeah, I know a couple things. Like, can you be in Virginia Beach in 2 weeks?" I was like, "Sure." And that's how it started. And this guy, Jamie Reynolds, took me under his wing and he was like, "All right, we're going to train you." You remember Jamie Reynolds? Yeah.
I remember when we would get on the mic for the skate events, fast forward a couple of years, Jamie was in our ear.
Yes.
And I watched you in awe. I watched you weave in and out of other sports coming in, doing reads, and I was like, dude, this guy is next level. I'm just sitting there like, that was a sick backseat ollie. Really bummed that one out.
I remember when you became my co-host.
Kind of what you were supposed to do, though. So don't worry.
Yeah.
No, I know, but coming from, I think I didn't see all the other work you were putting into it.
Yeah,
and I mean, and we would throw to you on the ramp.
Yeah,
but
right. Well, that's how I knew that he was doing something different because he gave me my spot to talk
I would watch, and I would watch.
Thank you, by the way.
Everyone's in our ear, and I was just like, dude, what? How can? Can't talk to me right now. I don't know. And you're listening and you're talking, and then you'd spit out what they had. And I was like, dude, this guy. It was impressive.
I took to it. I really did. And they put me through, they'd fly me to Connecticut and I'd do like these seminars. I'd be in a seminar for like 3 days. Like full journalism. There'd be like 2 hours just on like interviews and what questions not to ask and coming in and out of commercial. And storytelling, and this is why this works, and the theme of an event. And I just, and you're sitting with like, you know, the best people in football, baseball, all these world-class folks. You know, that's Susie Colbert and the other guy, God, I feel so bad I can't remember his name, that they were original hosts of the X Games. They were the first ones to be like, this can all be yours. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? And they looked out for me. And I think, you know, they were using lots of people from across the sports, but I don't think anybody else had an interest in like doing it. And there was a certain point about a year into it where I was like, I think this is what I want to do. And, I remember when I got the opportunity when they were looking for a sideline guy, and I was like, Ellis.
Yeah.
Bet you regretted that a little bit. He tried to help me so much. I'll never forget.
I remember hearing, I remember. So I have this fun experience of being between you guys, and I'd be watching you on the monitor getting ready, and you're like, what? I can't, don't fucking talk to me. I don't know.
No, the best one was...
You guys are trying to give me too much information. I don't know.
The best one was like, who's this fucking idiot in my ear? Someone tell this fucking... If you want to fucking do it, come up and do it your fucking self. You hired me because I know the questions. And Sal goes in my ear, hey, buddy, he can hear you. And I went, fucking somebody needs to tell him, like, try to, you know what I mean? Like, I was never apologetic in every way. Like, I was like, it's because he's an idiot. Like, fire him for fuck's sake.
Double down.
It was so much. It was so much fun.
Fucking double, triple down, man.
I remember sometimes I'd be just begging. They're like, "That's it, we're clipping." I'm like, "No, you can't clip them. Here's why." And
you should have clipped me.
Those days were fun. I mean, I started off with Miller. Yeah, he was my first co-host, which was awesome because I'd worked for Chris at Planet Earth, in rhythm and audio for on and off for a few years.
Yeah.
So when I was really lucky that way because it's just like, all right, we're just buddies, right? And then I got to do it with you, and it was, it was
those years were so fun.
So I was there for 13 years.
Yeah, but I mean those ones that in that pocket,
the first 6, that 6-year pocket,
that was it. Yeah,
we were,
and we did the tour.
Fucking cooking.
We should get into that because that's what people keep asking about.
Yeah,
the tours. We did the tours.
Well, that's when it became fun to me. I did not enjoy myself at X Games. I was still caught up in trying to be real deal Holyfield, and these people were clearly exploiting skateboarding for money, and I was still finding it. I'm like, I can't be on your side. I'm on their side.
But also, you were trying to skate actively.
Yeah, but I knew I wasn't good. You know, I was too into partying to win, so I knew it was fair to have me on the microphone. I'd accepted that. As much as I hated it, but it was just a fact. It was like, get sober, start training, and win, and then don't do the microphone thing. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna drink
I'm gonna
and
do this.
party and fucking, I'm gonna do me. This is what I do.
We did, but we didn't have a lot of overseers on the tour.
No. No.
We
the
had
tour
Ian.
was.
We had Ian, and then
He
Ian
wasn't
got hurt.
overseeing anything.
Well, he was supposed to. I think he
Right.
was overseeing the budget.
He was overseeing the budget. I think Ian was kind of there to be the go-between and make sure that we didn't burn shit down.
He did the best he could. If he had flat out said, "Do not do that," he knew we'd do it.
Yeah.
So he had to be like, "Look,
He
you
did
can, but it's probably not the greatest idea." And then every now and then someone would go, "Should probably listen to Ian," but oftentimes we're like, "Fuck that!" Fucking said it a lot. Like,
Shout out to Ian.
Yeah,
Lettieri.
he's a good dude.
But yeah, I'll never forget that first. The first thing we did. The first thing we did on the first stop of the first tour was the wave pool.
In Texas.
Was it in Texas?
We went to the one in Texas.
That's what
so
it was.
we the first stop was San Diego. So it was kind of weird because we all lived in San Diego. And so the first stop was Mission Valley YMCA, and it was like, okay, we're gonna do this locally. And then we hit the road, and that's when things got real ugly.
If I say this to kids, ask me all the time, well, not kids, like grown ass men with families who still tell me they still watch have the VHSs and watch them privately with their friends. They're always like, that tour shaped my life. They tell stories about what that tour meant to them, and I don't think we realized it at the time. Like the impact.
Or that we would have any impact. It was just more like, here's our hijinks, and here's skating. And that's how that was our approach, for sure.
I'm also at the same time very happy that there was no social media during that time, because I don't think we would have lasted 3 years.
You guys might have been okay, but I would be fucked. Yeah. If you had told me that I could turn a phone on and tell the world what I'm thinking, I was thinking a lot of stuff that I should have kept to myself.
It was not positive.
Yeah.
It was pretty, it was amazing, Tony.
It was super fun.
It's one of the highlights.
But I do feel like, and I think you guys were two of the key figures. Absolutely. We had a lot of skaters coming in and out. We had a lot of talent, but you guys were the threads that kept it going and made it meaningful in the programming. Because it was hard to get, a lot of the skaters were just skating.
Yeah.
And they weren't that forthcoming.
They're like, wait, we got to do interviews and stuff?
Yeah, and that was all. And it was always, the interviews were always like,
when's my time to get on the mic?
Yeah.
But do you remember the interviews were like late at night in the hotel? And
they were long. And
people would come from the bar to the interview and just like, that was sick. I was here.
I just marveled. I marveled at Ellis's ability to like, one of your superpowers was to fucking read the crowd and to give them like, all right, it's time for a turn up. Like the demo would be happening, and then Ellis would be like scoping and being like, all right, there's got to be something here to fucking get this fire. Sometimes Ellis would just come and take the mic from me. It was like a WWE bit. Be like, yeah, you guys know Selema Masekela? Yeah, he's the fucking announcer guy, but he doesn't skate. Anyway, I'm a skater. I'd be doing this, but I gotta skate. You guys want to see me jump off that thing up there? And be like, yeah. Be like, all right. And then he'd hand me the bike and then go climb up some fucking thing and try to kill himself, bomb dropping.
Well, that was his fault. I got that whole idea because he would do a McTwist the first ride. And I was like, I knew that at the end of the demo, I might make a McTwist. And he did one in his first ride. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Everybody else here, you don't get it. He's got you fucking taken already. So all of us are just, B team. And I'm like, I'm fucking jump off that rafter because I know all you idiots. You don't know shit. If I fly off that, you'll be like, whoa, Tony Hawk was there. Did you see that one Euro guy fucking fly off the rafters? I knew it. And I was right. People said to me later, man, I saw you jumping off the thing. And I'm like, yep. I saw you hanging off the thing.
The ape hanger.
The vert skate. No, the ape hanger was
big deal. Yeah. By the second year, people would be like, dude, ape hanger.
That's right. People were asking me to do it. We got a beam for you and everything. And I'm like, really? Okay.
We built this just for Ellis.
Just some random beam hanging from the ceiling. What is that doing there?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, those were
I remember they used to put moratoriums on my McTwist. They're like, no, all right, not in the first 5 runs.
Yeah.
One time I tried to
let it marinate.
Tell him to be super excited about my Smith grinds. to try to get people to think that my Smith grinds are hard. I'm like, just try it. Just freak out when I do it. That didn't work.
It didn't work.
No.
That was from Bam, showing up from CKY to coming on tour to fucking Sean White learning we taught him math, gambling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Playing blackjack on the bus.
Blackjack, yeah.
Yeah.
And the checks that got written from the blackjack games.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
your one
so
is
Trent, cameraman, who was the main cameraman,
crusher,
was the dealer. Always played the dealer because he knew the odds were better in his favor.
Bank.
And
he
made so much money
bring
that
like $20,000 with him.
He built a new addition to his house.
Yes.
Thanks
from the
to
tour.
us.
From the tour.
Yeah.
At 1 year, I forget how much, rest in peace, Dave Mira wrote a fucking crazy check. And the check was so big that Trent asked Dave to sign his bike so he could hang it up in that room, and he built. And I remember going to Trent's house, and he had this room built, and there was that. He's like, yep, this is the room that Dave Mira built.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, those guys were going deep.
But
I never
yeah,
had
Sean-
any money, so.
Sean
couldn't add.
And he wouldn't pay either, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got so far into debt that that he had to get his mom involved. And
At
Trent
14.
forgave him.
He did. But
And
he cried.
that was not like Trent.
No, he did. But he
Should've.
was a kid.
You don't play the man's
I remember
game.
when Sean when Sean figured out it was real, and he there may have been tears, and that's when his mom got involved, and then Trent forgave him. Yeah,
He thought it was fake the whole time because I knew it was real.
well, he was also.
I think he just wasn't really.
he'd never been to school.
I was like, if you're sitting at this table and there was only like 3 of them that had actual money, the rest of us were fucking poor.
Yeah,
So it was like, we're up, 500. I'm like, I'm
$5.
fucking out. Like, I don't give a shit what I got. I don't have 500, so I'm out. And I'm like, you, Mira, and Sean White have it. You have it, and you can actually let it go and be like, fuck it, I'll get some more.
I had to make payments 1 year. I think I broke.
Like, because you weren't doing that well then either.
No, I wasn't doing
But
that
you
well.
were
Yeah.
really in. Like, I remember, like, drinking saved me a few times. I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to go to the back of the bus. You know what I mean? And it would probably save me a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
But every now and then I'd come back in and get a beer from the fridge, and I'd look at him and I'm like, I don't think gambling is good. Like,
That's
looks.
kind of the vibe I remember from you at
Yeah.
the gambling table. There was no.
Oh,
Trent
half
loves
chasing.
fucking you over.
Yeah, he took great pleasure.
Didn't he
He
give
was-
you a card that was like a.
Oh,
we
yeah,
talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
You might have seen it.
The fake
Lottery
fake lottery.
ticket.
It's got a mass views on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Oh,
Trent
okay.
posted it there.
He's so proud of it. He wanted it to
posted
go
it there
viral.
like 5 years ago. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
That's awesome.
Who
Yeah.
did?
Trent. Yeah, the $10,000. I was like, and all I did was when I scratched the win. And it's like,
There wasn't even the joy of winning.
it was just like, I'm back.
I'm back, and I get to gamble more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when you know you've got a problem.
Yeah. You all looked like you had one.
But the last time we saw each other, we did that live stream for Subway.
Yes.
And you were telling me about the ultimate prank.
Oh my God.
This one's good. I don't know if you remember this.
Do you remember when Bam and Rooftop, we were in Virginia, either Wilmington or Virginia Beach? I think it was Wilmington, North Carolina. They went to the front desk, and the front desk just gave them my hotel room key.
Okay.
And they went in. They had gone to the store and they'd gotten plastic wrap.
Yeah.
And they plastic wrapped the toilet seat so that it would look clear.
Wait, you didn't know?
Yeah. So I had to go in and take a piss, and it's just splashing everywhere all over
That's
me.
just where it starts.
Yeah.
They took apart my bed, but left everything in loose so
Yeah.
that when I'd get in, it would
It fell.
collapse.
And it did.
Yeah, it did.
Awesome.
They took the batteries out of the remote. So like once I had everything together, and I was just like, fuck, finally, just like want to watch some TV. Nope.
Pissed on yourself, your bed's broken, the TV doesn't work.
It also began with them breaking. It was one of those keys that you insert.
Yeah.
So they'd broken the key in half and stuck it in there. And so the whole thing started with
work.
the whole thing started with me needing to get security to get into the room and then get this key that's jammed in there.
But you're coming back late, right?
Coming out late from the bar, drunk, and then getting in and then pissing yourself.
Right.
And then all that. And then remember, we'd have production meetings in the morning for storyline and all that shit. And they moved my clock in my room forward 2 hours. This is
that's a lot of work, man. I hate to say it, but I feel like that's just got BAM written all over it.
It was
Every single one of those.
Oh, BAM and Rooftop together?
It was BAM and Rooftop
together.
Yeah,
it was like evil genius.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I almost fought him. Like, I couldn't get pissed at BAM, but I wanted to fight Rooftop bad.
Why Rooftop and not BAM?
Because BAM was just like, this is still like straight edge.
You didn't know that he had a shit whipping coming?
Yeah. This was still straight edge. I don't drink. I just fucking.
Oh, he was not straight edge.
Yeah, he was too. The first year on tour, he was straight edge.
Oh, wow.
Hadn't had a sip. He'd be in the back of the bus just doing fucking crunches because the idea of being fat, like.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But he did love being in the back. He
loved being around
the partying.
Which to the point where I thought he was just
right. But he was right in there. He was in it,
but he just didn't do anything.
Around. Yeah,
he hadn't touched a thing yet.
Oh, man.
There was so many funny. He jumped off the balcony.
He jumped off the fucking roof of that hotel into like a 5-foot pool.
Yeah.
Somehow didn't die.
So wild.
Yeah.
I think I told this story on the same show with the magic stuff that I bought that you pour in a drink and it makes your drink go hard.
You remember that one?
I remember that one. And you fucking asshole.
And it didn't go hard. You went to sip it before it had gone hard.
Yeah.
And I watched you start to pour like a globule of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I don't think it's a good idea for him to digest it.
It's a dust you sprinkle into a liquid.
Yeah.
And
it makes the drink go hard. So when he went to pour it, it was supposed to not come out.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think like somebody was helping me. Was like, hey, Sal. And he's like, yeah. And I went, shh, in the drink. And then he just immediately grabbed it and went to drink it.
Yeah.
And when it started to, like, I saw it pouring into his mouth, I was like, hey. So he thought that I was trying to help him. He didn't know that I'd put it in there.
Yeah. I was brokenhearted because like, you're my guy. Like, so we're wingmen. Like, whoa.
No, but
it was all me, and he was going to fight Markovich.
That's right.
And he was like, fucking put shit in my drink. And I was like, hey, I'm the guy. I did it all. And he was just like, fuck. Maybe I don't know how I ranked, but he did. I didn't hate you, but I'm not going to hit you either.
Yeah.
But I was definitely going to hit Markovich. And I was like, I saw that. Like, if I do it, I'm okay. If Chris did it, he's getting cracked.
Yeah.
Because you were like,
you were
fucking
like,
asshole.
why were you so targeted?
Because he wasn't the fucking skater.
Yeah, because I think there was this.
I did it to him.
It was an underlining thing of like, well, is he really down? You remember, like, I mean, that's even how the fucking Tampa Vert drop happened when Danny started talking shit to me on the bus.
That's right. Yep.
And I thought it was like kind of a joke, and then he was like, "No, I'm serious. You don't even fucking skate vert. Like, how are you fucking announcing?" I was like, "Cameras are rolling." I'm like, "Hey, what's going on here, bros?"
Well, he was slightly joking because I was a part of it.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to make it because I knew you could make it.
Right.
But how the conversation started.
The conversation started was in the midst of all the other momentum. He took advantage of that. I love Danny for it. It's one of the best days of my life, to say the least.
It was huge.
It was huge. And this guy, if it wasn't for Ellis, I don't think I would have actually like done it. Because he sat me down and he's like, look. And I also believed that I was getting kicked off the fucking tour.
That's insane, but yeah.
If I didn't make it. Like the stakes were
no.
I know you but weren't. I did believe it.
Yeah. It was kind of like that thing you said about that other guy that was like, I'll pull the money, and he didn't have the power to pull the money.
Yeah.
That was what Danny was doing.
That was what Danny was doing.
Because he didn't have shit to pull.
He didn't have shit to pull.
But I knew that if you did it, you were
But I also, it's Danny fucking way. And I'm like, well,
you
shit.
knowing that is enough. Like, you knowing that, like, I'm gonna do my best here to come in on the request. And if I'm going to potentially get hurt, so be it.
Yeah.
And I tried to tell you, I was like, all you got to do is commit to it, and that's going to break it. They're going to go, look, maybe he's not pro. He didn't grow up fucking riding like a maniac like we did, but he's part of the team. Because I don't care if you're good. You just have to be committed.
Yeah.
And I knew that if you did that, it would shut people up. I knew earlier, I didn't like you when I first met you because you didn't skate, and you were like, the announcer. I'm like, how's he fucking announcing? What fucking how many times did he get knocked out?
Yeah.
I'm fucking brain dead over here, and this guy's the announcer.
I remember.
But then I saw the passion, and he's us. Like, even back then, I'm surprised I caught it, but I was like, he loves it. So it doesn't matter if you're good at it, you love it. So if you love it, and then also probably being an announcer and seeing that he had this capability of getting the normal people of the world to understand skateboarding and make our sport bigger and more respected. And at that time, I wanted that for us. I wanted us to be like, stop talking to me like I'm some fucking criminal. Like, I'm a professional skateboarder. It's a fucking thing, man. And he had the skill to bring the people to understand us. And I was like, you can shit on him for not doing a 540, but you can't shit on him for he's not in here to get a check and be famous.
No,
he loves the fucking game, dude.
Once I realized that I had an opportunity to help move it. Once I realized that there were millions of kids that who would have the opportunity to become skateboarders from seeing it on TV, and that they would see this thing and then go.
But also getting an authentic perspective.
Get an authentic perspective.
Not like, look at that amplitude.
Yeah. Get enough of like the storytelling and who and why, and then skateboarding would take care of them. That's when I knew what my role was. And I just threw myself into that part.
Yep.
And you know, I tell you all the time, I'm super grateful for the manner in which you helped me to see it. Because I remember in the beginning being like, I've been here for fucking years. What? And you're like, no, you gotta buck up and you gotta do this.
I told you it wasn't right though.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not right, but this is what is happening.
Yeah, so we're doing this.
And I was like, and you're doing it.
He nailed it.
He fucking did.
It was. I mean, we did 3 years of those tours, three tours.
Yeah,
that was the loudest.
That was definitely one of the top 5 moments of the tour. Absolutely,
that was one of the top 5 loudest crowds I've ever been in on a dude dropping in.
yeah. And at Tampa, where Tampa is like
no joke.
That's where the hardcore skaters are.
Yeah.
That's not the general
But
crowd.
they knew because we had your back. Like, Danny said that and I said this. But at one point, I remember being with a microphone at the transition saying to him, this is where the impact is. So when you explode, I'll be interviewing you. And he's just looking down at me like, what the fuck kind of motivation is that? And I'm like, trust me, dude, just go. But everybody else was like, he's not 540 guy, but Jason's being a fucking asshole to him on the microphone. And he's like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm dropping in. And fell and slammed and went back up the stairs.
Guy, I mean, it was,
You know us, dude. You go back up the stairs. Every time he went back up the stairs meant more than the fucking drop in. Because I was like, he's not going to stop.
And that experience it opened my eyes 10,000%. You could be around it, etc., skate mini ramps, etc. But like to fucking go up and stand up and do battle with like big transition, and then it changed my entire perspective of what I thought I knew. And I already had an immense respect, but that was just like what it filled me with and what it gave me moving forward was like I was like a superpower. I'll never forget that day.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I forget a lot of stuff, but
everyone kept making fun of you after that, so I don't know why.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. I felt like you were targeted more because it was like, well, Sal's late sometimes.
Dude, do you remember when I missed? I think I had to drive. I slept in.
Oh, yeah. I think there was a time when everyone's on the bus and we're like, we have got to get to the next city.
I drove. I had to drive that shitty rent-a-car that Robert Earl had. And I had to drive it to like another state. Yeah, it was...
On the flip side of that drop-in experience, do you remember the other time when you went to drop in and we all had challenged ourselves with old tricks to relearn? Probably don't. But there was one skate park. I can't remember. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, is that the one when I
rage quit?
I quit.
Yeah. We all did.
Yeah.
But we all came in. I'll never forget it. We're all on the bus and we're like, man, I want to relearn. I said I want to relearn frontside fives.
Right.
Yeah. You had something.
Cab frontside grind, I think.
Cab frontside 5-0. Jesse had something.
Bucky had something.
Hard flipped Faggy. And then you're like, I'll drop in again. So we all made this pact and said, whoever doesn't do it is getting a mohawk.
Right.
So we're all on the bus and that's it. We're all going in. And over the course of the demo, we all finally start to focus in on our challenge, and none of us can do it. None of us can do it.
No, I took a really good slam.
You
that
took
day.
a super gnarly
And I was
slam.
like, oh.
I ended up on the deck, frontside 540 on the
Oh,
deck.
this is what that feels like.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was funny. Do you remember that guy who had that we went to that farm and he had the most beautiful cement bowl set up in a barn?
Yeah.
And we had the greatest. That's the best session I ever had on tour.
But I don't think we weren't allowed to shoot that one, right?
We weren't allowed to shoot it.
It was,
but he let us
because he built it rogue. He didn't have permits for it.
And I'll never forget that session.
That was fun.
Yeah,
I got a backside 50 through the corner of this really gnarly corner. And you were standing right there and you were like, fuck yeah. And I was like, holy shit. And I remembered that was the funnest session, that guy's house. And this guy just like pulls open these. It was like, what's the baseball movie?
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
He had a Field of Dreams like dream park.
It was built really well too.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
What was the place that we went with the rowdy guy that had the beat up truck that he took us bush bashing until he like wrote the car off while we were in it. And it was like the first 5 minutes that I got out of the bus, and it was
that Skatopia?
I think so.
Mm.
Where it's just like
I think
the worst
we went to
ramp.
Skatopia. I don't think we went to Skatopia on that tour.
I don't know. It all gets kind
in
of blurry.
Ohio.
Oh, it was Viva La Bam.
That
Sorry.
was Vila Bam. Yeah.
I got off another van. And then I got put in a car with some mohawk tattooed guy.
That's when
that was
they were towing the half pipe behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And he just took off through the woods and hit a tree. And I was like, just lost the rear end of your car, sir.
Yeah, don't worry
and
about
I'm a bogan. I'm like, oh, I see what's happening. This is a demo.
Yeah.
And he's trying to scare us. And I'm like, he's not that good. This might end up scaring him as well. But I pretended that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I held it up like, yeah, fuck yeah, keep going, man. Like, yeah. And I'm like,
Sure.
dude, we're gonna fucking die.
I remember when they let us run wild at Woodward and we almost flipped the quads.
Yeah. I was desperately trying to get you to do that.
Yeah.
To crash.
Yeah. And I ended up on the front wheels.
Yeah.
And
I was praying for it to go
I
off.
would have died though.
Nah, you'd be all right. I just remember always seeing you and going, there he is. Just fuck with him every time I saw him. Fuck with Sal. Fuck with him at all costs.
Oh, fuck.
Sal, you've got a four-wheeler. Boom.
Never
Just
rode a
keep messing
four-wheeler
with you.
before. Remember France?
Yeah.
The French 900?
Yeah.
There wasn't really a
yeah.
900? Wait, was
No,
that was
yeah.
the French 900. So by the way,
Pensacola.
Pensacola 900.
900.
That's a
You remember that?
classic.
People, I got some angry emails after that one.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Remember?
Because they
What?
thought we were just making fun of the crowd. And I mean, I guess we were in our own way, but.
Wait, did you do a fake one?
No, I did the ramp was pretty rugged and I started trying 720s and people were like, yeah, 900. And
Okay.
so I was like, okay.
Let's just
and
go with it.
Sal, Sal was like, I guess that's the Pensacola 900.
Oh,
And then
nice.
we ran that, we aired it.
Right.
And the people were like, well, you just think we're idiots? Like, we're making fun of us? Like, we don't really know any of that stuff. And sorry, we thought
Felt
it was
good in
funny
the
at
moment,
time.
though.
Yeah, we thought it was funny at the time.
Yeah.
Stay in school, kids.
I have all the 3 900s that I got to witness, which was there.
Well, not Pensacola.
Well, not Pensacola, but San Francisco, Paris, and another one. Woodward. I've never washed those shirts and they're all signed and they're hanging
No
in the
way.
bag. Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Wait, your shirt? His shirt?
My shirt, they all say he would sign thanks Sal 900 in 99,
Oh,
thanks
yeah.
Sal 900 and yeah.
Sweet.
They're probably worth like $5 at some point.
I still have the skateboard from San Francisco.
Do you?
Yeah.
That should be in like the Smithsonian or something.
I don't know. I have it.
Please don't. I don't know it. Like, please know where that is.
Yeah.
You know?
I have it. I know where it is.
Okay. It's not like McGill's board that he gave you.
I knew where that was too.
Touche. My bad.
Excuse me.
My
Thank
bad.
you.
When you look back on that day, do you like? Because that day changed everything for all of us.
Yeah.
Like if 900 doesn't happen on that Friday night, I really think that the the domino effect of like the explosion of the culture, that night changed everything. It was on in every bar. There's no Instagram.
That was pretty crazy.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's prime time on a Friday night, and people are calling each other, being like, "Gather around, go to your TV." If you were in a bar, everyone turned. Like, it was this moment to just like, and then it happened, and it was like,
I can tell you that it wouldn't have happened if I had planned to try that night.
Yeah,
because whenever I went with the intention of doing 900s, it was too much pressure on myself, and I'd end up eating shit. And so that night, I didn't plan it, and then when I started trying it, it just sort of evolved, and I figured it out. But it was crazy that
my first Summer X Games.
Was it?
Yes, I had done the winter, and then they hired me for summer. And
wow,
yeah.
But it was crazy that they let the feed go.
That's the part.
That's the part that was really wild to me, is that they let this live best trick contest. And I know people think that this was like the biggest event and I had it all planned out. It wasn't. And at that time, best trick events were just sideshows.
Yeah.
It was like after the contest, everyone's mulling around. Oh, I'll try this hard trick. Maybe I'll get it.
I think that people let it go because of the people around you. We all changed. Like, because when we saw that you were going to get close, I felt like everybody there was like, oh, shit. If we help him, if we push him, he's going to fucking do it today.
That was a Jamie Reynolds, Jed Drake, and a couple of others making an executive decision. Probably, I don't know if you've ever heard the stories behind the scenes, but for sure there were people telling each other to fuck off in the truck.
Yeah, we don't give
a fuck. This is going to keep going.
Yeah.
The idea that like skateboarding is going to run into Sports Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delay fucking Sports Center?
Like, that's only reserved for golf and
that's,
NBA.
Yeah, like that's resolved for like
NFL.
the real shit.
Right.
And then that happens, and now they're extending it all the way through. We kept going live and doing interviews with everyone involved. It was a whole, they treated it like as if, you know, Tiger had just shot fucking 64.
You were Sports Center, like this, what is it, the thing of the week or whatever? Like they go top 10?
Top 10.
Oh,
yeah,
right. You were number one.
It was number one. It was.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Baseball,
well, I'm thankful
golf,
that you guys were there to help it. I mean, I couldn't have done it with all that support.
Can't believe I was on the fucking ramp to this day.
Yeah, it was quite
it's all very much a blur to me. And then when you know, Sam Jones did the doc and I saw all that behind the scenes footage and you guys were there. I mean, Sean Mortimer, all the skaters, it was all just such a, like, wow, that's crazy. I finally did that. That's awesome. Woo, high five it. But I just, now when I see it in hindsight, so many of my peers and the people I love and respect were there. It was crazy.
I remember looking at other people when you got close, where I was like, he could make that. And then I'd look at, you know what I mean, like one of the other vert guys that knows what that takes. And they're like, I know, right? And I'm like, hey, this ain't a fucking pose anymore, guys. This is happening.
Yeah.
And then like such a
pose. I did a lot of poses.
You know what I mean? Dude?
No,
like,
I know.
I'm not saying you're not trying to make it.
They risked,
like, you ain't making it.
They
and then
risked
you were.
millions of dollars.
Oh, you mean letting that air?
To let it go.
Oh,
they were just like, fuck it.
Just so you know, I thought
light it up.
I thought it was over. Like I didn't think that it was still live.
Right.
You know what I mean? That because of our experience.
Of course,
we're
always
the only reason I knew
we're the dredge. Like they're not going to let us go overtime. And so I was like, I'm just going to try to do the trick. It's fine.
They haven't closed the ramp yet.
Yeah.
Right.
The only reason I knew is because I had an earpiece, and I was like, oh shit, we're on TV.
We ain't done. We're still on TV.
We're still on TV.
Because I remember the camera guy's like, what do you think? And I'm like, well, we're done, dude. It's like, no, we're not. And I'm like, I think he's gonna make it. And then all of a sudden I'm on the side of the ramp and I have to do the closer you got, I go, not yet, but it's getting pretty close. And then, maybe. And then, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like that was how it progressed.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I didn't do it. You did it, motherfucker.
But then that led us to doing so much cool shit after that.
Yeah, that's
it was
what
crazy.
I mean. It kicked it open, and
that's what for me. That was I was considering not competing after that year, way before that. And then that just kicked into high gear. Was like, okay, I don't want to compete. I'm not going to top that moment in my career. And then it led me to get to do commentary with you. We got to do the tours.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun. So I'm just so thankful that we got to that journey together, because we were all the dregs of the sports world.
We suddenly got really cool. For
Yeah, right. That was weird as shit, right?
It was.
I remember
so
like
fun.
because I was hanging out with Danny and Colin all the time, and those dudes were like the cool guys still. And every now and then we go somewhere, and it's like, Ellis, man, fucking ape hanger, and Colin's like, the fuck are you talking to him for? And I'm like, hey, man, I'm on ESPN, okay? Relax. I was fucking ramming that up their asses. Being recognized and them not being recognized was like one of the most satisfying moments of my life.
So awesome. So, Selema, what's next?
Yeah, what do you do
What's
now?
What's next?
What's next?
Now that we survived all those years.
Yeah. I started a clothing company, co-founded a clothing company called Mamiwata that I'm doing out of it's the first South African surf brand.
Huh.
And basically the idea was to do a surf lifestyle brand, but totally through the lens of African surf culture. So like obviously we've had all these brands from Australia and SoCal, etc. But I'm like,
did that book inspire
but not
this?
just
Or
well, we did the book.
Sorry.
I did the book Afro Surf after we started the brand.
Okay.
Yeah, but then the book Afro Surf kind of went nuts last summer, and so now I'm developing the Afro Surf book into a show.
But when you say African surf, not just South Africa.
No, like the whole
African continent.
Yeah. And it's been going really, really well. We got a little pop-up store in McKinney that we opened in April, and it's going through September. And then trying to take the Afro Surf book and basically do a travel show and show people what modern Africa looks like, but music, food, culture, fashion, but all through this unlikely lens of surfing.
Amazing.
I went on a surf trip to Senegal in December, and it was changed my life. And I was like, all right, we got to do this.
Is there a scene?
Huh?
Is there a scene?
Yeah, a crazy scene. And like these dudes rip beyond comprehension, and the waves are amazing. And you're surfing like perfect A-frame barrels in front of the most giant triple minaret mosque ever in a fishing village, and everyone speaks French.
What about Skeleton Bay?
Skeleton Bay in Namibia.
Yeah.
That's on my list. I'm kind of terrified of it, but I feel like I gotta get it.
I saw it. I saw a video of it.
Yeah.
And that was my first thought. Was that's a left that just barrels constantly. And I talked to my brother, who is a surfer his whole life, and he's like, that wave
will kill you.
Is gnarly.
It's gnarly.
Yeah.
But I also.
If he said it's gnarly, I'm not going.
Yeah. I gotta surf it. There's all Angola, Mozambique.
You goofy footed?
I'm goofy footed. Yeah. So I'm working on that. I got kind of a big acting job I'm leaving for next week for a week for this show. It's an adaptation of a book called Lady in the Lake. I'm shooting that in Baltimore, Maryland for a week, acting opposite some lady named Natalie Portman.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about the black community in surfing? Because I feel like I've trying to get into it a little bit, and I've been around a little bit lately.
In the black community in surfing? Or?
No, in the community. But I bumped into you. You just happen to be black.
Yeah.
And I went to something where somebody was being disrespectful to a black guy, black kid in the wave
you
near
came,
my house.
That's right, yeah.
So I went, you know what I mean? Because I was like, fuck that. And then he was there. And then I'm watching him, and I'm like, oh, he's like the lord of this stuff. And you're breaking down barriers that I didn't know needed to be done at this fucking time. I was like, I thought we were past this. But to know that there's some of you out there that are going to judge a guy's skin color in the water.
Oh, yeah, I remember
people
seeing that.
like Sal is kind of shining the light on that. And I think that it's opening eyes to a lot of clueless people that may not have realized that they were being disrespectful by not standing up and supporting your fellow surfer regardless of their skin color. And I think you're a big part of that, man, from what I've seen.
It wasn't my desire to I didn't wake up one day and think like, oh, I'm gonna be the champion of this, but I just couldn't stay quiet. Do
you realize that after you're just talking about your dad, you're kind of doing your dad's work in surfing?
Yeah, and after my dad died, I appreciate that because after my dad died, I was like, well, how do you even keep this torch alive of what he did? And then suddenly we found ourselves in the summer of 2020 when things got really spicy. And as far as the conversation on race in America, and obviously the conversation came up in surfing. And I was like, people started telling their stories. And I was like, I got some stories to tell. Yeah. And it's funny, that event that you came to, these two kids, Brick and Gage, sweet kids, they had been surfing for about a year and they were in Manhattan Beach. And, you know, you have incidents in the water where, especially when you're new, you cut someone off, whatever, they might call you a kook.
You just don't know the etiquette.
You don't know the etiquette, whatever. And this guy decided to paddle up to him, give him shit, and then call him the N-word.
Yeah. And nobody helped. Nobody stopped.
And then everyone in the water just kind of sat around and did nothing as this guy's like
no allies.
No allies. And there was an incident a few weeks earlier up at the top of El Porto where these two black girls that were just out in the water were getting shit. And these guys were being like, why are you guys out here? And they're dropping M-bombs, etc. I mean, I've had more incidents than I can even count. I had a situation not too long ago at this spot called Zeros in Malibu where I saw another black guy in the parking lot. And whenever that happened, it's like, hey. That's how I met Mirko. I met Mirko Mangum surfing Seaside, and we were like the only two black guys in the water, which for us to see each other in the water anytime that happened was like, I don't know you, but I need to. And we all have the similar story.
It's like gays and skateboarding.
Yeah, like, and that's how I got my job at Planet Earth.
Yeah.
From the two black guys for 100 miles happening to be in the water, we start talking, and I was going through some shit at Transworld, and he was like, "Oh, I'll get you on the phones at Planet Earth." But anyway, I see this guy in the parking lot, and I roll up to him, and I start talking to him. Where are you from? We're like, "You ever see me here? Another you here?" He's like, "No, it's cool, so cool to see you." And the guy in the next car over goes, "Why didn't you come up and say hi to me?"
Oh my God.
He and I talking. And so me and this dude are having this conversation. I'm like, excuse me? It's like, yeah. Why didn't you come up? Why'd you go and talk to him and not me? Don't you think that's kind of racist, bro? And I was like,
oh, wow.
We're looking at each other like, what's happening on a Saturday? Like, it's too nice a day for this shit. Yeah. And this dude starts going in. And then he has the nerve to be like, don't you think you should be off doing some TikTok dance videos like your people do?
Yeah.
And just like going, but what was really as horrible of a situation as it was, because I was about to fight this dude.
Yeah, I'll pull you out the fucking car and stomp your ass.
A bunch of white dudes came up to him and like
checked him
and fucking told him to beat it. And I'd never seen that before. And I was like,
it takes.
We might have
some allies here.
Yeah. So those dudes, Brick and Gage, they started this really cool thing called Ebony Beach Club, where every second Sunday at Dockweiler Beach, they take over this beach, and they got he's got his El Camino on the beach, DJing, folks show up. There's this group called Color the Water. They're giving surf lessons to black and brown kids, and it's just like, it's a vibe. It's like the best beach party ever. And this idea of like not having to change who you are as a person of color to come to the beach, but being able to come to the beach and like show people how you can also do it this way. Yeah. And it's an energy. Yeah. And now it's become this very cool, very big thing. There's this group called Textured Waves, these incredible women that I've been working with.
They called what?
Textured Waves.
Okay.
And their whole, if you follow them on Instagram, their whole story is like the perspective of surfing through the lens of black women, which I had never even seen. So when I discovered them, I was like, oh, holy shit, you know? And so, yeah, just creating more access. And people always like to be like, well, the ocean's for everybody, bro. So I don't understand why you guys want to always bring race into it. Dude. And it's like, I'm so sorry that you think that your neighborhood by the beach just happens to be only white because like you're the only people who wanted to be there. Yeah. I know that it once you discover that that's not the case and it got literally set up that way, it kind of fucks with your brain. And no one's saying it's your fault, but also like help create some room and make people feel welcome in a space that you're not used to seeing them. Yeah. And I remember surfing just felt so fucking good to me. Like the first time I stood up on a wave that I couldn't hear all the shit. Yeah. Like people they'd throw, I remember people, just paddling up and being like, what's your black ass doing out here? And be like, surfing. Just
I gotta commend you on that, dude. Because I don't know. I obviously don't know what that's like, but I can get close with the gay stuff. And
yeah, you know what it's like.
I've thought at one point when it was against me, I went back to Australia and I didn't want to go home. I just was like, I don't want to live here if I'm gonna be
persecuted,
talked to like that everywhere I go.
Yeah,
and you stayed with it. I was already pro. That's my fucking job, and I still was out of here. I was like, I don't need this.
Yeah,
I don't need to live like this.
My thing was just like
you did it the whole time.
The joy of the thing, like that can't
supersedes.
It supersedes all of
the
it.
Passion.
Yeah, the passion and the joy of it. And look, I mean, fuck, we're still here. And
but I do think that, especially with those incidents and those events that transpired, you were a catalyst in terms of being a central figure that could articulate the experience in a way that people
had to listen.
People had to listen, but also that they thought that I was always down, but not really through your actions, were you?
Right. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. People were always there were a lot of people who were like, but yeah, we were friends with you the whole time. I'm like, yeah, but you had no desire or ability to acknowledge that like the shit was different for me.
Yep.
So now that you're finding out what that is, that's what makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
But I just think you did such a great job of
I appreciate it.
Heading that up and being a champion and
that was pops, man. Like literally like channeled them. And I'm just glad that it doesn't have to just be me. Like there's so many voices now, and I just get to like use my my platform to shine a light on the work that a bunch of people are doing.
From the outside, and I'm impressed.
Thanks,
I think it's what you're doing is really good stuff, dude.
I appreciate it. It meant a lot when I saw you down there on the beach that day.
You know me, dude. I was just you remember Germany? You know me.
Do I remember Germany?
Somebody said something when I'd had too much to drink and I fucking lost it.
I remember it. I remember it well. Do you remember?
Not someone that was in our crew.
No. We were at a establishment.
I got it.
And somebody used.
I think we've told the story.
Somebody used
a little
word.
more vague terms before.
Somebody used a bad word.
Yeah. Do you remember that one demo that I had to stay in because it happened to be that we were it was like May Day and we were in Germany and there was like a right-wing parade that was happening.
What?
Yeah.
And you had to stay in? I don't remember that.
They were like, we advise you to stay in until after the right-wingers pass.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry I didn't know about that.
You didn't organize it.
No, but I just, I feel like I should be aware of any of the situations.
Yeah, it was super rando. But yeah,
wow.
That was a weirdo. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
We've come a long way and we got a long way to
go. I know.
As human beings when it comes to just acknowledging the natural differences of what makes people in this country and the idea that whether it's race or religion or sexuality, especially like as we're in the midst of this like crazy, all of a sudden people want to be like, America's a Christian nation and you're going to be one too. And like, actually, no.
Yeah.
But you start to see like how easy people can get caught up and being like, oh, my team's going to win now. It's like, no one's going to win. We're all racing towards the same fucking stop sign. How do you want to get there? You want to get there spending your time putting people down for choosing to be their whole selves because you wish you could be that? I think that's really what it ends up coming down to.
A little bit gay and a little bit black, Sal, you know? Get over it.
Can someone put that on a plaque?
That's the quote. That's it. We're going to end it there. That sums it up.
So the sooner you get over
it's like we're back
the
at the
sooner you can get on with your life.
Exactly. Back of the bus.
You black homos.
The back of the bus.
And also,
oh man,
yeah, I was going to say the back of the bus is a good term in our world on the tour.
Yeah,
exactly.
You wanted to be in the back of the bus because the back of the bus was the funnest part of the tour.
That was the coolest place on earth.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us in the back of the bus, Sal.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate
Tony.
it, buddy.
Really appreciate it.
Love you, dickhead.
Love you.
Love you.
All the way back.
Yeah.
And then some.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Like and describe, you bastards.
What's your out?
Oh, yeah.
What's my out?
Check your shit.
Oh, shit. I don't have a good...
well, either a good saying or plug something or,
plug something.
Or just shut it down.
My podcast. Listen to the What Shapes Us podcast.
That would...
Please.
Glad we covered that.
Give us
We almost didn't mention he had a podcast on a podcast. Yeah.
What shapes us, but give us like a true in the Selema voice out.
I'll give you guys an out. Well, it's been truly amazing hanging out with these two legends, Tony Hawk and Jason Ellis, the legend from Australia. It's a fine podcast, the Hawk versus Wolf podcast. Buy the merch. Are the boards still available, guys?
They are.
Yeah.
How many?
Not that many.
There's less than
Not many,
left.
so make sure that you guys go out and get them and support these two legends. My name is Selema Masekela, and as
10,
always,
9,
it's been a pleasure
8,
hanging
7,
out, telling
6,
you stories about
5,
the shred.
4.
That really helps when you
3,
hear
Stay
that,
cool.
right?
And we're out.